I never thought I'd be the guy posting a saga like this on Reddit, but I'm at my breaking point and need to vent before I lose it. I'm a 32-year-old man, and here's the backstory. I grew up in Michigan, the eldest of 3 siblings. I worked hard in high school, earned a spot at Michigan State for computer engineering, and secured a solid tech job in Chicago after graduating. I spent nearly 10 years there before landing a lucrative remote role that let me move back to my hometown 2 years ago. The offer was too good to refuse. A $45,000 pay bump and stock options already worth $30,000. My younger brother, Tyler, 29, has always been my mom's golden child. She doesn't even try to hide it. When Tyler turned 18, he got a car as a birthday gift, while I had to scrape together money from summer jobs to buy mine. When I asked for help with college tuition, I got sermons about fiscal responsibility. But when Tyler wanted to launch a food truck selling overpriced tacos, a venture that crashed in 8 months, costing my parents $85,000, they emptied their savings to make it happen. The favoritism started early. As kids, I'd get punished for leaving my bike outside overnight, but when Tyler wrecked his into a neighbor's garden, ruining $500 worth of rare plants, my mom blamed the neighbor for planting too close to the path. I still remember her writing that check with a pained look, then taking Tyler for ice cream to soothe his trauma. Don't get me wrong, I've built a good life for myself. As a senior software architect, I earn 6 figures, own a nice condo, and have mostly moved past the family drama. My sister, Jenna, 27, gets it. She's a nurse who paid her own way through school, facing the same bias I did. She worked late-night shifts at a diner during nursing school, studying at 4 a.m., while Tyler partied and crashed in our parents' basement. Jenna and I have monthly video chats to vent about family nonsense, often betting on Tyler's next disastrous choice. Last month, I won $50 by predicting he'd try day trading after watching a YouTube video. He lost $3,000 in 48 hours. Mason, my best friend, 32, has been with me since we were 12. We met in middle school when he called out a teacher who unfairly gave me detention. Tyler was throwing paper airplanes and blamed me, but Mason spoke up, saying, "It was that kid. Albert's just taking the fall because he always does." Mason got detention too, but we've been tight ever since. His sharp wit cuts through nonsense, and he's never shy about calling out my family's absurdity. He's been telling me for years to stop seeking my parents' approval. I should have listened earlier. Mason and I play basketball every Saturday, outsmarting college kids with strategy and some sneaky moves. He calls it old man ball. Less jumping, more elbows, and plenty of trash talk. Our real competition is comparing whose family is more dysfunctional. His dad left when he was 8, and his mom cycled through boyfriends like seasonal outfits, so it's usually a toss-up. A year after moving back, I met Rachel, 30, at a tech meetup downtown. She was giving a talk on digital marketing for B2B clients. Sharp, no nonsense, with a biting sense of humor. She dropped 3 killer Star Wars references in her presentation, so I had to talk to her afterward. We clicked instantly. 6 months later, we were serious. Rachel grew up with 4 brothers in a blunt household. When she met Mason, they debated lightsaber physics for 2 hours while I watched, entertained. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, earned after a creepy college incident. She's not someone to cross, which makes what happened later even crazier. I didn't tell my family about Rachel right away. Given our history, I keep my personal life private until I'm sure. By Christmas, I decided it was time for them to meet her. I thought, what's the worst that could happen? Big mistake. I showed my parents photos of Rachel, and Tyler flipped out, yelling that I was a jerk for dating his ex. I had no clue they'd ever crossed paths, let alone dated. Apparently, Tyler and Rachel went on a few casual dates 3 months before I met her. He claimed she ended a serious relationship out of nowhere. He threw a tantrum, storming upstairs and slamming his door like a teenager, not a 29-year-old. My mom shot me her signature disappointed glare. When I asked Rachel, she set the record straight. 3 dates, and she ended it when Tyler got clingy too fast. On their 3rd date, he suggested meeting his parents and planning a Chicago weekend. When she said he was moving too quickly, he showed up at her job with flowers. That was it for her. I wasn't about to dump Rachel over this. Tyler kept whining for weeks, telling everyone I stole his girlfriend. My mom started making snide comments about family loyalty whenever Rachel's name came up. Tyler eventually dropped it, and I thought we could move on. I was wrong. Rachel and I had been together for 15 months, and I knew she was the one. I planned an elaborate proposal for her birthday, booking a private room at her favorite restaurant, inviting our families and friends, and buying a ring that cost 3 months' salary. The proposal was perfect. She said yes, and everyone cheered. It was one of the best nights of my life. Well, almost everyone cheered. Tyler stormed out mid-applause, with my mom chasing after him like he was a toddler. She glared at me as she left, as if I'd proposed to ruin Tyler's night. My dad just gave an apologetic shrug and kept celebrating. Later, Mason pulled me aside and said, "Your mom ran after a grown man throwing a fit about someone else's engagement. That's next-level crazy." His bluntness was both funny and unsettling. Tyler went quiet for 2 months, barely speaking to me, which was fine. Then, out of nowhere, he invited Rachel and me to dinner at his place with my parents and Jenna, saying he wanted to clear the air before the wedding. We agreed, thinking my parents and Jenna would keep things civil. Jenna texted me beforehand, "Weird timing. Should I bring my stun gun?" I thought she was kidding. I wish I'd taken her seriously. Dinner was awkward but calm. My mom kept asking Rachel pointed questions about her family and career, implying marketing wasn't as legit as Tyler's endless entrepreneurial schemes. Rachel handled it like a champ, even complimenting my mom's awful new haircut without flinching. After dinner, we moved to the living room for coffee. Half an hour in, Tyler stood up to make a big announcement. He gave a dramatic speech about how glad he was to have everyone there for his special moment. Then, unbelievably, he got down on one knee, pulled out a ring box, and proposed to my fiancée. The room froze. Rachel, horrified, told him to put the ring away and get up. My dad tried to step in, but I was already across the room. I grabbed Tyler's collar and punched him in the face. He fell, knocking over the coffee table. Tyler started ranting, claiming Rachel was only with me to get back at him for dumping her, saying she didn't really love me. My mom screamed at me for hitting her baby, ignoring what he'd just done. Jenna got Rachel and me out before things escalated further. In the car, Rachel was livid. 3 dates, Albert, 3, and he pulls this a year and a half later. Who does that? I had no answer. Tyler's world defies logic. A week later, I was still fuming. My parents kept calling, mostly defending Tyler and saying I overreacted. My mom even texted, "He's sensitive and was just expressing himself." "Violence isn't the solution," I shot back. "Neither is proposing to your brother's fiancée." I decided to confront Tyler directly with Rachel present. He agreed to meet at my place the next weekend. When Tyler showed up, he looked rough. He sat quietly until I demanded an explanation. "It's not what you think," he said. I asked how proposing to my fiancée could be anything but insane. He said his friend Craig convinced him Rachel was dating me to get revenge for Tyler, rejecting her. They came up with a test to see if she'd leave me if Tyler proposed. Craig's the genius who got Tyler into crypto right before it tanked and designed his food truck's disturbingly phallic taco logo. Their combined brainpower couldn't heat a cup of coffee. Tyler said, "Craig figured if she was using you, she'd either say yes or be flattered. Her being disgusted means she might actually love you." Rachel was furious. "So you humiliated everyone to prove a point." "That's deranged," Tyler shrugged. "I had to be sure. Craig said so." I pointed out that Craig, a 30-year-old living in his mom's basement, wasn't exactly a relationship guru. Tyler then said, "Bros before hoes, man." If it was reversed, I'd have stepped back. I called it nonsense. Before leaving, he declared he wouldn't attend our wedding. "I can't support this when I had her first." 3 dates isn't having someone, moron," I said. "And your invite's already trashed." I called my parents to explain. My dad seemed to get it, but my mom kept defending Tyler, saying it was a misunderstanding and we were too hard on him. "He really liked Rachel. You should have checked with him before dating her," she said. Rachel, loud enough for my mom to hear, said, "3 dates a year and a half ago, I barely knew him." My mom hung up. Jenna called later, fully on our side, saying, "Mom created a monster. Good luck getting her to see it." For now, I went low contact with Tyler and my parents. Rachel and I focused on wedding planning, despite the drama tainting what should have been a joyful time. Mason came over with pizza and a PlayStation, declaring, "Wedding planning break. Time to shoot virtual bad guys instead of your actual brother." He wasn't wrong. A month later, things boiled over at Jenna's promotion dinner, celebrating her new role as charge nurse in the ER. My parents hosted, and Tyler was unavailable. Jenna mentioned her upcoming Europe trip and jokingly asked, "Tyler's not invited to your wedding, but he's cool for my birthday party, right?" I laughed and said it was her call. My mom, who'd been simmering all night, exploded. Is Tyler really still uninvited? I thought you were just being dramatic. I confirmed he was out. She accused me of holding grudges and trying to split the family, even saying I was jealous of Tyler's charm. Charm. The guy wears crypto t-shirts and quotes Joe Rogan like it's scripture. To her, he's part Brad Pitt, part Elon Musk. I bit my tongue and said it wasn't the time. We were there for Jenna. My mom stormed to the kitchen and the night fizzled. My dad tried to save it by asking Jenna about her job, but the mood was ruined. 3 days later, my mom showed up at my house unannounced. Rachel was working from home. I'd just gotten back from a meeting. Mom barged in, demanding we fix the Tyler issue. She called his proposal a harmless joke and said excluding him was petty. I reminded her Tyler and I agreed he wouldn't attend. She then said, if Tyler's not welcome, I'm not coming either. I stayed calm. Your choice, I won't beg you to be at my wedding. She looked stunned, expecting me to fold. You're okay with your mom missing your wedding? She asked. I replied, wouldn't be the first time you skipped my big moments for Tyler, would it? I listed her missing my graduation for Tyler's cold, and my awards ceremony for his no-line role as a tree in a play. She called me heartless and left. Within hours, her side of the family bombarded me with calls and texts saying I was disrespectful. That night, my dad called privately. Son, your mom's wrong here. Tyler crossed a line and actions have consequences. I'll be at your wedding no matter what she decides. It was the first time he'd openly opposed her on Tyler. Maybe he was finally growing a backbone after 35 years. Tyler posted vague social media rants about family betrayal and blood means nothing, with my mom commenting supportively. He even made a playlist called Traitor Tunes, full of angsty 2005 emo songs. My mom started texting Rachel, trying to guilt her into changing my mind. When Rachel didn't bite, my mom spread rumors that Rachel was manipulating me against my family. Most of my mom's relatives boycotted the wedding, but my dad's side planned to attend. Jenna stayed loyal. We downsized the wedding, saving $15,000, which we put toward a luxe New Zealand honeymoon. My mom showed up unannounced again. Rachel texted me at work, saying Mom was at the door. I told her I'd be home in 20 minutes and to let her in if she felt okay. When I arrived, they were at the dining table, Mom barely touching the coffee Rachel made. The air was thick. Mom started with, I've been reflecting and we need to mend this. Family's too important. I thought she might apologize. Instead, she turned to Rachel. I hope to catch you alone. Without Albert's influence, you'd see why Tyler's hurting. Rachel replied, I wouldn't discuss this without Albert. It involves his family. Mom's tone sharpened. Do you need his permission to talk now? I thought you were independent. I cut in. Enough, Mom. If you're here to insult Rachel, leave. She ignored me, telling Rachel, our family was fine before you came along. Now Albert thinks he's above us. Wonder where he got that idea. Rachel, with incredible restraint, said, before me, Albert was already successful despite your family's lack of support. She stood. You should go. We'll talk when everyone's calmer. That's when Mom lost it. As Rachel walked to the door, Mom grabbed her hair, yanked her back, and pinned her down, screaming and trying to claw her face. I pulled Mom off and got her out. She banged on the door for 10 minutes before leaving. Rachel had scratches and a bruised arm but wasn't badly hurt. I called my dad and Jenna. Dad made excuses. Your mom's stressed, I snapped. So am I, but I haven't assaulted anyone. Jenna, who's seen domestic violence cases as a nurse, came over and urged us to file a police report. This isn't normal family drama. It's assault. Rachel hesitated but agreed to file a report for documentation. The officers said the case could proceed without her pressing charges and suggested a restraining order. One officer told me, I see family disputes all the time. This isn't just an argument. Your mom crossed a major line. He gave me a family law attorney's card. Surprisingly, Tyler just texted, that's messed up. Sorry, no defense of Mom, just an acknowledgement she went too far. I called Mason, who brought burgers, and listened. After he said, I've been saying your mom's unhinged for 15 years. Maybe now you'll believe me. He helped me draft a no-contact email to my mom. After your attack on Rachel, we're done. Don't come to our home or contact us. All communication goes through our lawyer. No exceptions. I blocked her everywhere, told my dad I wouldn't speak to her until she got help, and apologized to Rachel. We considered moving out of state post-wedding. Rachel got an offer from her company's Atlanta office, and my remote job made it feasible. A fresh start far from this mess sounded perfect. The next day, we got a temporary restraining order against my mom, granted based on the police report and photos. She was barred from coming within 500 feet of us or our home for 90 days. Then there's the financial side. My grandfather, a successful businessman who sold his Midwest hardware chain for millions, left a hefty inheritance for me, Jenna, and Tyler. My parents were trustees until we turned 30 or married. Each of us was due about $450,000 plus investment property proceeds. I never saw much of it. When I asked, my parents gave vague excuses about family expenses. Jenna had the same issue. After the assault, I dug deeper, demanding bank statements and records they were legally obligated to provide. The truth was infuriating but unsurprising. They'd been draining my and Jenna's trust funds to bankroll Tyler's lifestyle. His $2,300 monthly rent? Trust funds. His $42,000 SUV? Trust funds. His failed food truck? $85,000 from the trust. His $5,500 gaming PC? Trust funds. Meanwhile, I got $15,000 for school. Jenna got $12,000 from a trust meant to give us nearly $500,000 each. Tyler got $4,000 monthly transfers for living expenses, covering credit cards, car insurance, phone bills, streaming services, even dating app subscriptions. I consulted an estate lawyer, who confirmed my parents breached their fiduciary duty by favoring Tyler and misusing the trust. With Jenna's backing, I sued them for breach of fiduciary duty, misappropriation, and violating trust terms. The evidence, bank transfers, credit card statements, rental agreements was airtight. Serving the lawsuit papers unleashed chaos. My dad called panicked. "Albert, let's talk." "It's a misunderstanding," I replied. "The records are clear, Dad." My mom grabbed the phone, all sweetness. "Sweetheart, we plan to repay it. We were just helping Tyler through a tough time." "A 5-year tough time?" I asked. "It wasn't your money to give." The lawsuit hit hard. Their assets were frozen pending the case, tanking their credit score. My dad delayed retirement, and my mom took a receptionist job she hates. They left their country club and lost their social status. No more fancy dinner party invites. Tyler faced real consequences for the first time. His rent was overdue, car payments late, credit cards maxed. With no income history, he couldn't get loans. His power was cut off for 3 days in winter. He called, begging for a loan. "I'm about to be evicted," I said. "My money's tied up in legal fees to recover what was stolen." "Try Target, they're hiring." He hung up silent. Rachel and I had a smaller wedding with 50 guests. My dad came alone and was respectful. Jenna brought her boyfriend. Tyler and my mom stayed away as planned. Mason, my best man, gave a toast joking about me dodging family bullets and still coming out on top. Everyone in the know laughed hard. The lawsuit settled pre-trial. My parents agreed to a repayment plan, selling their vacation home and downsizing from their 4,000-square-foot house to a 1,200-square-foot condo in a neighborhood they used to scorn. My dad sold his beloved boat. A neutral trustee took over the trust with strict rules. Since I was over 30, I got my full share immediately. Jenna will get hers at 30. Tyler's is held until he's 30 or proves steady employment for a year. He was livid, texting, "That money's mine." I replied, "1/3 is, per grandpa's terms, for education, legit business plans, or at 30. No more handouts." My share, $397,000 after fees and taxes, felt unreal. I paid off my mortgage, funded our New Zealand honeymoon, and started an investment portfolio Grandpa would have approved. We moved to Atlanta. Rachel's thriving in her new role, and I'm now lead architect at my company. We bought a house in a great suburb, 4 bedrooms, finished basement, big yard. We adopted a German Shepherd mix, Rocket, who's whip-smart and already knows a dozen commands. Rachel says he's the best listener in my family. My parents email and text daily, mixing apologies, Tyler updates, and hints about visiting. I reply sparingly, keeping boundaries. We didn't renew the restraining order since we're states away. My dad calls monthly, updating me on their finances and his therapy, where he's addressing his enabling habits. Tyler shockingly got a job at a tech store. Jenna says he's sticking with it and the grind's changing his perspective. He emailed me last month. "The proposal stunt was wrong. I was jealous. You had your life together and I was a wreck. Mom and Dad made it too easy to screw up. I'm not asking for forgiveness, just saying I get it now. Work's been a wake-up call. Tell Rachel I'm sorry for being a jerk." I took time to process, then replied, "Thanks for the apology. It matters. Good luck with the job." Last week, a package arrived with a $500 check from Tyler and a note. "First payment on what I owe you. It's small, but it's a start." It's a drop in the bucket compared to what was taken, but it's the first time he's owned up to anything. My mom still doesn't get it. Her latest email said, "I don't know why you're still punishing us when Tyler's moved on." It's not about punishment, it's about accountability. She sent a long message about family forgiveness. I forwarded it to Mason, who replied with a gif of a guy playing the world's tiniest violin. My dad's slowly coming around. He's in therapy and emailed admitting he enabled Tyler and neglected me and Jenna. "I was spineless," he wrote. "It's a start.